Welcome back to day 2 of Workday DevCon, coming to you live from Las Vegas. I'm Amir Kosfan from the Workday Education Media Group.
Hi, and I'm Chris Bledsoe, Head of Developer Relations here at Workday.
Chris, I cannot believe that we're just moments away from the closing keynote. I don't know about you, but it feels like this event has just flown by.
Oh, yes, Amir. There's been so many exciting things that are going on here. We kicked off the event yesterday with all of our new product announcements.
Yes.
And on the main stage, and then they dove right into a day full of product sessions, hands-on labs, live demos, brain dates, and so much more.
You're right, Chris. There's so much going on at the event. And one particular thing that I'd love to talk more about is our Giving and Doing program here at DevCon.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. It's such an important part.
Yes.
Something we've been intending to do all along. And I'm excited to shine a spotlight on 2 incredible organizations that are making a significant impact on our communities. They're integral parts of this event. We have DevMission and SEO Tech Developer.
And Chris, how do partnerships with organizations like DevMission and SEO Tech Developer contribute to Workday's goals of diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Absolutely. So, you know, one of the things I think is important for everybody, and even what you and I have discussed earlier, it's that passing on and teaching others.
Absolutely.
Right? And not everybody has the opportunity that we've been blessed to have, where you can go to school, get an education, and grow up in this kind of environment.
Yeah.
So both of these organizations, in a slightly different manner, are trying to bridge that gap so that people can have that opportunity to learn and grow. And then they're always helping them to do, because as you know, it's all about your network and the people that help you learn.
Absolutely. I love that. That's so great. So let's learn a bit more about these 2 organizations. First up, we're going to talk about DevMission. DevMission is dedicated to connecting overlooked young adults in the San Francisco Bay Area and beyond with opportunities in the tech industry. Let's take a look at the video.
DevMission is an organization that provides STEM opportunities to kids, youth, and young adults. Youth are not being exposed to STEM subjects. And another gap in San Francisco, the Bay Area, is diversity at the tech level. It's pretty pathetic. We started 6 years ago with the idea to really empower young people to pursue that journey with technology training, resources, post-secondary opportunities, mentors and volunteers to support young people so they can actually see that it's possible.
If you come to Dev Mission, you're going to learn how to build a website, how to troubleshoot a computer, how to teach others how to work a computer. And you're going to learn also the professional skills needed to be able to be successful in the tech environment.
First thing you see when you walk into our door is a huge banner that reads, "You belong here." They belong within the tech industry. They walk into a computer lab full of technology available for them to explore. On top of that, you get to see the staff. Then you have the volunteers and mentors that are there to train these young people and share with them their journey.
It's really awesome to give back to the low-income neighborhoods that I lived in and that I grew up in, because those locations aren't getting the resources that they need. The fact that I'm able to actually make a difference and I'm actually able to go into these communities and give back and see that growth and see that change, I feel like it really is making a difference. I mean, made a difference for me.
Over 500 young people being part of our program, 300 have graduated from our program, and as of today, almost 250 young people are working in tech jobs. Dev Mission is going to continue to create the next generation of tech talent, but the way we're going to do that is by doing it together.
Now, Chris, I heard you had the chance to visit the Dev Mission headquarters recently, and the team held a DevCon watch party at their San Francisco headquarters yesterday.
Oh, that's right, Amir. And it was great seeing and visiting these Dev Mission students and instructors. They joined us virtually for this opening keynote.
Nice.
Hey, let's take a look.
I want you to call out our friends at Dev Mission.
That's right.
You know, I had a chance to visit the Dev Mission HQ a few weeks ago to meet with students and instructors and talk more about Workday and DevCon. They were so excited to be able to participate in the DevCon digital event.
And it's great to see that the Dev Mission crew had the chance to see your sparkly jacket in person too, Chris.
All right, now let's switch gears and talk a bit about SEO Tech Developer, which has been making a lifetime of achievement possible for over 21,000 talented young people since 1963.
It's awesome.
You know, the SEO Tech Developer provides free academic support, mentorship, and internship opportunities to low-income public high school students, as well as undergraduates from underrepresented backgrounds.
That's right. And I caught up with Nikki Suska, Associate Director at SEO Tech Developer, who is here this week at DevCon. Let's go and take a look at the conversation. I'm here with Nikki Suska, the Associate Director of SEO Tech Developer. Nikki, welcome to DevCon.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you here. Could you provide an overview of SEO and its role at DevCon this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So SEO is a nonprofit organization. We've been around since 1963.
Wow.
And SEO Tech Developer, which is the program that I work on, is a sponsor of Workday.
Okay.
And we were asked to come and represent our program here, and we're really happy to be here.
Well, welcome to DevCon. What are some of the key initiatives or programs that SEO offers?
So SEO offers several different programs. The program that I work on specifically is the SEO Tech Developer program.
Okay.
So we work primarily with sophomores in college who are computer science majors who want to become software engineers or work in a job within the tech industry.
I love that. Okay. How do these initiatives contribute to their readiness of meaningful employment within the tech industry?
Yeah, so a lot of the students that we work with, they're either first generation or they are low income, so they often need a little extra support and a bigger community in order to really be successful when they are looking for internships and full-time jobs. So we provide them with the support and the resources that they need in order to be successful.
I love that. That's fantastic. In the time that you guys have been running this program, I'm sure you have many success stories. Is there one in particular that stands out to you?
Yeah, so I'm thinking particularly about this one student who he narrowly got into the program. He definitely needed a little bit of help with his technical skills, but we offered him a seat in the program.
Okay.
And he took advantage of all the resources that we had to offer. He really excelled at the training, and he ended up getting an internship at a really great company, and then ultimately he got a full-time job within a rotational program at a Fortune 500 company. He's doing really, really well, and he's making more money than me now.
And there you go. Besides this program, are there other initiatives, other programs that you guys have as well?
Yeah, so in addition to the SEO Tech Developer Program, which is for sophomores, we recently launched our First Year Academy, which is specifically for first-year college students who are interested in technology. They might not necessarily be computer science majors, but they're interested in exploring the field. We found that a lot of the students that we work with, they might not feel like they have a place within technology, or it seems too hard, or they haven't had exposure before they got to college. So we try to give them that additional support and that feeling of community, and we offer them a training program that you don't have to have code at all in order to be part of the program. Like, I could do it myself if I wanted to, and you know, it's a really great opportunity for them to dip their toe in the pool and see what it's like to work in tech, or at least, you know, learn a little bit more about computer science. So it's going really well, and we hope to expand in the future.
That's really, really cool. Well, thank you, Nikki, for your time. I hope you're enjoying your time at DEF CON. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Wow, what an inspiring person. I'm so glad we have Nikki and SEO here at this event. All right, we're just moments away from our closing keynote. Amir, any predictions on what you think might be shared on the closing keynote today?
Well, given the fact that almost everyone talks about AI nowadays, and it's this thing that's just blowing up, I'm just going to take a wild guess and say that the keynote has something to do with AI. It'll probably be one of the big themes of the keynote today. Let's see if I'm right.
You know, I wouldn't take a Las Vegas bet on that at all, man. I think that's like probably a sure bet right there.
We'll see.
Absolutely. All right. We'll see how well you did when we sync back up for the post-keynote show. Now, be sure to stick with us here for that, because we'll be recapping it, all of it, the key moments in 2000 at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Now, you know what's interesting, too, about this whole closing keynote is I know we've got some really special speaker coming to join us as well to talk about responsible AI. And I think it's amazing that Workday as a corporation is really focused on not only building out that cool technology, but also ensuring that it's being used in an ethical and a way that is safe for everybody.
Absolutely. I talked about this with Kathy yesterday. I mean, it's great that everyone's so excited about it, but you want to make sure that we're doing it in a way that is 100% ethical, and at the same time, you know, it was touched upon yesterday in the keynote that we're not necessarily replacing anyone. We're just making your tasks easier to do, working at a speed that you've never been able to work at before, so you can be more efficient and you can be more productive, right?
Well, absolutely. And I've done a number of conversations with people, and it's more than just responsible in terms of how it works, but also the what they call the chain of custody as it relates to code.
Right.
So as you generate code from a generative AI solution, you want to ensure that, you know, it's following the type of things and avoid things like bias, right? So because the data could lend itself a certain way, but you want to ensure that you're doing that correctly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's amazing about the way Workday approaches our business models, because we're like going, hey, how do we ensure that this is not only being done correctly, but that this the code that's being generated can be used as well and not create and introduce that bias for people.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to change the subject, but I do want to take a quick second and just acknowledge all of this around us and then acknowledge you. I mean, did you ever think in your wildest dreams that DEF CON would become this? Being in the Chelsea Theater, the Cosmopolitan people, 1,000 plus people, 2,000 plus attendees total. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Dude, I never imagined it. When we first started doing Hackathon all those years ago, we never imagined that it would lend to DEF CON. We started doing these digital hackathons during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so I convinced the management team to go, hey, look, not only do we want people to try out these new technologies, but why don't we put a number of sessions ahead of it so they could learn about these new technologies before I turn it over to them in the hackathon. And that theme has been with us the entire time of DEF CON.
Right.
And what's amazing is it's different between us and our other sister program at Rising.
Sure.
Love Rising. It's a great place for you to meet and work with people.
Yes.
But what makes DEF CON unique is that you, as a participant, a developer, an integrations consultant, can actually play with this technology before it's made available publicly.
That's fascinating.
So you can learn how to use it.
Yeah. Do you think that's the reason for the growth of the conference? I mean, it is, correct me if I'm wrong, the fastest growing conference in Workday in the last few years?
Yeah, absolutely. And I absolutely think so. It's really an untapped market for Workday, right? When we introduce the platform, some other companies will introduce it right when they build it, but we realized we needed to be able to provide that now. And so, for example, really amazing, this last year we've been doing a number of what I call Dev Talk podcasts.
Okay.
So last year, I started that program last year at DEF CON, interviewed about 6 or 7 different developers, asking them about their developer experience. I even had an opportunity to meet with the legendary Shane Luke to talk about AI.
Lovely.
Of all of the Workday podcasts, 5 of the top 10 were these Dev Talk podcasts. We're like going, holy cow, with the one with Shane Luke, the #1 most listened to podcast of all of Workday last year. And then I think people are starting going, wow, there really is an audience for people who want to build and learn and do this kind of things. And I think it's going to inspire us to do even more talks about that really help educate and help people understand the value of how AI can be used as a part of your business, whether you're a leader deciding that or if you're needing to be able to build it as a developer.
Where do you see DEF CON going? I know you announced your retirement yesterday, but where do you see DEF CON and Workday's role in AI kind of going in the years moving forward? What do you think that's going to look like?
Well, I think we're going to hear some really good announcements today that I think is going to just blow the doors off this conference next year.
That's a fun tease, yeah.
Yeah, so you definitely want to stay tuned, listen to those announcements, because I think we're going to probably double again next year just with some of the stuff we're introducing.
That's amazing. We're about to find all of that out. Let's tune in to the main stage here at Workday DEF CON.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 2 of DevCon. I'm sorry I couldn't join you in Vegas, but I wanted to take a minute to thank you for joining us at this year's event. This community of partners and developers is critical to Workday's future, and it's exciting to see how DevCon has grown. We've been evolving from an HR and finance applications company to a true enterprise platform, and you are the heroes of this journey. Together, we're working to address the pressing issues facing business, from emerging tech and workplace trends to unique industry challenges and beyond. The DevStars who were recognized during yesterday's keynote are great examples of developers leading the way. Congratulations, Jason, Srinivas, and Subhatra. Together, we're building a platform that transforms how businesses manage their people and money. But even more importantly, we're building a platform that helps craft a better tomorrow for your companies and your careers. Enjoy DevCon. I'll hand it over to Ryan Basilio to get us started. But first, a word of advice to you, Ryan. With Chris heading into retirement, this is going to be your show. I'll give you the same advice Anil gave me. Don't screw it up.
Please welcome back, Head of Outbound Product Management, Ryan Basilio.
Welcome to our closing keynote. This is phenomenal. Just take a look around. This room is huge from here, so take my word for it. This just means so much to us. So thank you all for being here again. And hey, quick shout out to Carl, right? Nothing like getting career advice from your CEO in front of 1,000 people. Not sure if I'm doing something good or something wrong, but with Carl not here in person, we can agree on one thing, right, guys? What happens in Vegas? Come on, we can do better. What happens in Vegas? Shows up on the next quarterly performance review. Always does. Always does. Speaking of what happened in Vegas, the last 36 hours were great. We saw our customers, GSK, come on stage. Kainos talked about their AI innovations. The hands-on lab, that line was out the door longer than Marquee. And of course, Braindates and the DevCon After Dark were always such a hit. And even Chris made a wonderful announcement. We're very, very happy for him. But today, we have a great keynote for you as well. We're going to talk about AI. We're going to answer some questions that you may have, like, how is AI going to impact your work as a developer? Where do we go from here? What are our peers doing? And how do we know it's being used responsibly? We're going to bring up Dr. Rana, an industry expert, and our VP of AI, Kathy Pham. And they're going to talk about how they can use AI to supercharge your work as a developer. Then, we're going to bring up Dr. Kelly Trindle, Workday's Chief Responsibility AI Officer, and she's going to give you Workday's unique approach on responsible and ethical AI. We're then going to close us out with our Senior Vice President, Matt Brandt. And we're going to bring Jay out, and they're going to give you a new announcement, a surprise announcement on our partnership strategy. Stay tuned. But before we go into all of those, I want to introduce our next speaker, Jonathan Boyne. And he's going to talk about the future of integrations. And integrations are near and dear to my heart because I actually spent most of my career in integrations. And if you knew me during that time, you know I wasn't a very good integrations consultant. So sorry, Mike, if you're out there. But a lot of the innovations that Jonathan's going to talk about are things that I wish I had when I first started out. So please join me in welcoming to the stage, Jonathan Boyne.
Welcome. It's great to be on the big stage here, having this opportunity to talk to you all about the great capabilities that we're giving to you to put into your hands to go build. Now, Ryan was right about one thing. I am going to talk about integrations, but I have a lot of cool stuff to talk about before I get there, so you're going to have to sit tight. At yesterday's keynote, you heard how we're all better together. How together, Workday, partners, our customers, we all innovate together and create value. But I look at it from another perspective. How do we bring together our technologies in ways that ensure that you get everything you need to take full advantage of the Workday platform and everything it has to offer? So before I get to integrations, I'm going to touch on Workday Prism Analytics and Extend, and about how together you get a rich toolkit that allows you to take data insights all the way through to action. What we're doing as well to break down the barriers between Workday Extend objects and Workday Delivered objects. Some cool stuff there. Next, how we're creating tighter coupling between Workday business processes and Extend business process. And then finally, the topic close to my heart, Workday Orchestrate for integrations. So this week, you might have attended some great sessions around Extend and Prism, or maybe you've attended all of them. As we know, Prism is a great platform for taking third-party data, Workday data, and blending that together in ways that create rich analytics and dashboards that drive your decision-making. And then you take Extend, and you can build applications and business processes on top of that data that really take action on top of Workday. Together, this is a powerful toolkit that transforms data into action. On Tuesday, yesterday, you would have heard some sessions from the Workday Package Solutions team about Workday workforce optimization solutions that are available to every one of you in the room, where you can download these solutions as starter kits and get building with Extend and Prism. You may have also heard from Advisor, a partner of Workday, who delivered a cost allocation application that streamlines for internal financial teams' operations. Again, an application built on Workday Extend for driving UI configuration and using Prism as a powerful rules engine to underpin all that. But we're going further. We're giving Extend developers even easier access into that Prism data by bringing in Prism APIs into the Extend Explorer. And in addition to that, we're going to enable you to bring in Salesforce data through a soon-to-be-announced Salesforce Data Ingestion Connector, which is going to make it much easier and seamless to bring in that third-party Salesforce data later in the summer. That connector is the start of a pipeline of connectors that are going to be announced throughout the year. Next, reporting. We all know everybody cares about Workday reporting, and we've been listening, right? We know there's some challenges, but you're trying to create reports with Workday data and merge in the Extend data. And I've been told recently that you've got to go through a little bit of gymnastics to try and get that done, right? A little bit of tears along the way. And we know that visibility is key. What we're doing now is we are breaking down the walls between Workday delivered business objects and Extend objects. Quite simply, we're going to make it trivial for you guys to generate reports with Workday data and Extend data, and have that two-way visibility. And as you can see from our excited worker here, you guys are all really delighted about that too. So that functionality is going to become available at the end of this month. And I think it will be available to Hackathon today as well. So next, at the core of your people and money operations, Workday business processes enable you to automate those tasks, those notifications, and integrate Workday processes with third-party systems. Right? We're going further than that. We're going to propel you into a new era of possibilities by giving you capabilities to really craft truly unique experiences on top of Workday's delivered business processes. We're delighted to announce that you will soon be able to connect your Extend model BPs directly into your Workday delivered business process. This will give you the ability to drive user interfaces, custom logic, all directly from Workday delivered BPs using model BPs. That's going to create a seamless experience for your users and for yourself when you're building applications. We're really excited about this. In addition, we're going to raise the bar, into the parity bar, between model BPs and Workday BPs. So you'll now have rescind and cancel support on top of your model business processes. There's one final thing I didn't announce. You can also connect and orchestrate now to a rescind or cancel business process. So you can trigger and orchestrate that custom logic on top of those actions as well. But to really drive this home, let's look at a small example of how these capabilities come together to be really powerful. So we're going to use a common scenario here, which is our new hire process. And in this scenario, we have a very excited manager that has spent months searching for that one candidate. We've all been through this, right? And the candidate, Annie, has accepted the offer. But as part of the new hire process, we really want to make this a great experience. So we are going to automate how we create the badge and how we create the profile for Annie as part of the hire process. So to make this happen, we're going to use our delivered hire process. But we're going to then add into this process a model business process that's going to drive a UI and custom logic that's going to present an application to Annie that allows her to input her profile information, her image, right? In addition to this, the model BP is going to use an orchestration to send that image off to Amazon AWS services to do image recognition and make sure that the image is a person and not Annie's pet dog. Right? Then we're going to complete. It's going to be a seamless experience for the manager and also a seamless experience for Annie. And what we have here is end-to-end visibility as well. Remember, we have the two-way reporting in place as well. Right? But as we know, sometimes plans, they don't really pan out as we thought. So it turned out Annie was at a conference, and the conference happened to be in Las Vegas. And Annie won big, right, real big. And unfortunately, Annie didn't turn up to work on her first day. She made too much money. But, you know, the manager was probably quite upset about this, but, like, luckily we now have the rescind support on the model BP, so he was able to unwind all of those transactions that took place as part of the model BP, all handled by Extend model BP. And in addition, if there were any third-party interactions as part of the business process, you could inject an orchestration in there in real time to unwind those third-party system actions. So we say lucky for Annie, unlucky for the manager. Now, moving on. Workday Orchestrate for integrations. We finally got here, right? Ryan was right. I can't promise I can make him a good integration developer, right? Many of you have already heard that we've been busy reinventing how you're all going to build integrations, right? And we're very excited about the prospect of taking Extend innovation through Orchestrate, bringing that into the integration cloud and giving that to everybody. But we need to do it right, right? We went limited availability with Orchestrate for integrations in March, and the response has been phenomenal. As I stand here today, we have 16 customers in production with over 50 integrations built and deployed, running, and we're seeing amazing results. In some scenarios, for some use cases, we're seeing 40% reduction in time to build, and in other scenarios, we're seeing a reduction in 50% processing time. And you all know, at scale, every second you take off a transaction can really matter. We're going to move fast. We're going to accelerate the limited availability program. I know a lot of people in the audience here are really eager to get part of that, so we're going to move fast on that. We're going to announce later in the year our further plans to go more broadly available with Orchestrate. But we also know what's important to you. We want to get the platform right. So we're doubling down on how we increase our productivity. So recently we announced sub-orchestrations, which gives you the ability to streamline and modularize your development, which means the time and effort you spend building solutions and integrations, you can reuse that within your orchestrations through sub-orchestrations. In addition, we want to get you moving quickly. So we've got the App Catalog integration templates, which are a suite of templates that are going to solve lots of different patterns for you and get you started really quickly. And in addition, we're increasing your visibility. So we've introduced the SOAP API Explorer, which gives you the ability within the dev site to play around with its SOAP API in a sandbox, get it right before you configure it in your Orchestrate. And then our new introduction, which is going to be available at the hackathon for you today, our Workday Orchestrate Activity Dashboard, which is a real-time view into the activity within your tenant and all of your orchestrations. And I'm going to show that now in a little moment. So to really drive this home, we're going to jump to a demo where I can demonstrate all these great capabilities to you. So we have here our app catalog, right? And I've been challenged with building an integration. So I'm going to build a supplier invoice inbound integration that I've been asked to build, but I've also been asked to extend it, right? Within this integration, you'll see here that I've copied it from the app catalog, and I'm going to go to our new tab, which is our sub-orchestration view. Within here, I'm going to create a sub-orchestration called Get FDA Device Information, because I need to inject into this orchestration some additional information. But I've built one already. So I'm going to go to a previously built orchestration. I'm going to copy some steps to that from that orchestration that has the solutions that I need. I'll go back into my orchestration, into my sub-orchestration, and I'm going to copy those 3 steps in there. I'm going to save that, go back into my main flow, and I'm going to drag over my sub-orchestration, parameterize it with an input, and deploy it. Now, that was very quick, so I've gone from 0 to a working integration. In reality, it's not as smooth as that, but it is on this screen. So now what we have here now is our Orchestrate Activity Dashboard. So you can see here we've got supplier invoice inbound with FDA device information. That is the orchestration that I just ran. And underneath that, you can see every instance of that run of that orchestration. You can drill into the current state, and from there you can go into lower level log information. You can also jump out to the tenant with the tenant link from there. This is going to save you so much time when you're trying to troubleshoot or figure out the status of one of your orchestrations. This is available at the hackathon, and we're really keen to hear about the feedback, hear what feedback we get from it from you guys. It will GA later in the year. So that's everything I have today. I'm really delighted I had this opportunity to stand up and talk to you guys all about this. For everybody at the hackathon today, best of luck. For those that are not going to the hackathon, best of luck. You never know, you might be Annie.
Please welcome Vice President AI, Kathy Pham, and AI investor and co-founder of Affectiva, Dr. Rana El Kalyoubi.
Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone. I am so excited for this conversation. We're so lucky to have Rana with us today. Well, you'll be learning today, you'll be hearing lots of wisdom dropped around the topic of humanizing AI or humanizing technology and responsible AI in practice, how we master our craft by bringing together different disciplines, and really how we invest in the future of technology, the future of AI, and the future of our builders. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Hi, everybody.
Before we dive in, I really want to sing your praises. So bear with me for this part. You grew up in Egypt. Mm-hmm. You went and got your PhD in machine learning and computer vision at the University of Cambridge. Did a postdoc at the MIT Media Lab. Your daughter, you just shared actually on LinkedIn, just turned 21.
I know.
And is
crazy.
at Harvard. No easy feat as a parent. Your son goes with you to conferences and plays around with GPTs for fun. And how incredible is that? So you have with us a thought leader, an investor, an author. You have a book out, Girl Decoded. And really, you started your career as a developer.
I did.
And a builder. So you really have seen it across the spectrum, and what we'll learn today will be, whenever I hear you talk, I learn so much, and I'm really excited to get to share this conversation with you.
When I stopped coding and became CEO of my company, Affectiva, we're going to talk about that journey, I just felt like I stopped being useful. And so I started this email once a week to the whole company called, "What does a CEO do anyways?" Because I had this there's this feeling like if you're not coding and you're not building, what use are you?
Well, lots of people here are coding and building and are also leaders that you've seen across. Tell us about, so you've been in academics, in academia. You've been an entrepreneur, you've been a CEO, now you're an investor. Mm-hmm. Tell us about your journey.
So I started in academia thinking actually I'd become faculty. So I did, as you said, my PhD in machine learning and computer vision, pioneering a field of AI called artificial emotional intelligence. This was 23 years ago, before we had smartphones or any of that. That was back in the day when webcams were big and blurry, there was no cloud. But I was on this mission to essentially bring emotional intelligence to machines. Then found myself at MIT doing a postdoc, again, thinking, okay, I'm going to apply to faculty. But being at the Media Lab at MIT, we had a lot of interest from, we had a lot of industry partners, and twice a year we'd host all these companies. It was called Demo or Die.
Mm-hmm. I remember that at the Media Lab, yeah.
Yeah, you had to show, you couldn't just show up with a few slides. You had to actually show what you're building. And all these Fortune 500 companies, and I know Workday is now one of these companies, basically wanted to buy the technology. And I was like, this is research code. So that provided the impetus for starting Affectiva. In 2009, we were venture-backed, brought the technology to a number of markets, and then I sold the company 2.5 years ago. And I've been slowly making the transition over to investing in AI startups.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I know you glossed over it, but I was at the Media Lab too, and it's no easy feat to go from research and idea to a whole company. So cheers to that.
I have a story there too that I think a lot of people here might relate. Our very first product roadmap, I kid you not, we were okay, Q1, we're going to build a product for the education industry, Q2 for the automotive industry, for Q3, and it was just so naive. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm sure our investors saw through that, but it was so naive. It was the best roadmap. We were gonna dominate in a year. We were gonna ship all these products.
You're here laughing too, because I think even for Workday, we're thinking a lot about our industries and the thought of, today I'll just do this industry, and tomorrow I'll just do next industry is a great learning experience of how software gets built, which we will get to, the software development lifecycle. So before we get into that, what is the first product you ever built?
I wouldn't call it product, but the first code I wrote, I was 8, and I programmed a Christmas tree using BASIC programming language, which I think nobody uses anymore. And what was cool about it is I went to this British school in the Middle East, and I'm Muslim, but I still coded a Christmas tree. So I think that was really cool. So
that's incredible. I love people's early stories of how they get started in development.
How about you?
So I created a receipt generator in Pascal because that was the language of choice for my teacher at that time. And what it did for me, though, was I saw how by typing code, I can change, I kid you not, it was a line that said, have a nice day to like see you tomorrow or something. I was like, oh, when I go to the grocery store, that's what that is. And I had it completely, I think, helped me see, oh, I can write code to change so many things, including the world, really.
Yeah, exactly. Like coding is so powerful because you translate that into solving problems and pain points in the real world.
Yeah.
So it's,
What is one thing you want developers to know?
Yeah, that you all are super powerful and you get to choose how I'm in the AI space, so you get to choose how AI is built, how AI is deployed. If we want to build responsible and ethical AI into our systems, that's where it happens. So it's very powerful, it's a privilege, but it's a responsibility too. And I think that's an important message.
Great message for all of us. Let's go back to your time at Affectiva, when you founded that some years ago. It's no easy, not all of us come up with new fields in our PhD programs or in any program. You really worked in the lab and you all came up with a new field of emotional intelligence, emotional AI, and you made that into a company. And the speaking point that you come to a lot is let's humanize technology before it dehumanizes us. So really, how do you think about what it means to be a human in the age of AI, right? We're in a moment right now with AI. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, the moment we're in is so powerful. We are at an inflection point. I do believe AI is going to just continue to be more and more ingrained in our everyday lives. The insight I had over 25 years ago was that a lot of the emphasis on AI was on the IQ, on the intelligence of or the cognitive intelligence of the AI. But we all know from our personal and professional lives that your emotional intelligence, your EQ, really matters. It matters in how you motivate people. It matters in how you persuade behavior change. It's how you build loyalty and trust and connection. So I felt like that piece was so missing from technology, and I've been on this quest and journey to inject empathy and emotional intelligence into our machines and into how we think about, the future of AI and chatbots and whatnot. And it's really, I think this AI inflection point has really made me pause and think about, okay, if AI is going to take on roles that were traditionally done by humans, maybe it's hiring your next coworker or helping you become healthier or happier or helping your kids with tutoring, right? Mm-hmm. Where do we draw the line? Like, what do we want to keep in our humanity? And for me, it's things like empathy, creativity, collaboration, authenticity. I think we're going to value human connection even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think about that a lot.
Yeah, what it means and what we should automate or not. And there's a concept, as you know, human in the loop. When I was at the media, we were messing around with the concept of AI in the loop. So what does it mean for, instead of figuring out where humans are in the loop, where does AI even fit in with our lives and our society? And I love that you brought that up.
I want to build on that because I think sometimes the framework or the narrative is like human versus AI or human versus, and it's not a versus, it's a plus, it's an and. At the end of the day, AI should be just a tool that we use to make our lives better, to bring out the better versions of ourselves, whether it's a co-pilot that helps you be more creative or more productive or healthier or happier or more connected. And I think if we put that lens on it, like we keep the human at the center and then build around that, I think that will be good for humanity.
Yeah. Before we move on from Affectiva, you did so much research in the space of like humanizing AI and technology, and it can easily stay in the space of research. Right? There's actually a lot of research now that's happening in the space that has a really hard time getting into industry. How did you talked a little bit about this, right? But can you tell us more about how you really went from that idea in university and, you could have been a professor and taught about this to many people, but really got it to become a product that made it out into the world in so many places?
That was the tipping point for me. I remember December 2008, we walked into the Media Lab director's office at the time, Frank Moss, and I was like, Frank, like all these like amazing companies want to buy this technology. We need more research students to work on this. And he was like, this is not research anymore. This is a commercialization opportunity. And I remember the feeling. I was like, wait, I'm on this track to become faculty. You're messing up my plans. But I thought about it, and I felt like I had this unique opportunity to take a technology I cared deeply about and make it happen, like make it scale in the real world. And that's what's so powerful about businesses, right? You can take an idea, productize it, right, with you all, and bring it to the real world at scale and influence how people do business and go about their daily lives.
Yeah.
And that for me was the tipping point, and I love that.
And you actually, I just remember this, you didn't get too far away from teaching because you actually came back and you still teach sometimes at the Harvard Business School as well. So there's lots of opportunities.
Yeah, I do. I'm an executive fellow at HBS, and I think I don't want to be a full-time academic. I want to straddle both worlds, but I love doing that too still.
So let's move on to your next thing. You sold Affectiva. What's next? What are you doing now?
Yeah, the first couple of years after the exit, I really wanted to explore. I love paying it forward, and I think there's an amazing opportunity to share, my learnings from my journey with Affectiva with other founders. And so I started a small fund and invested in 40 AI native companies, and I loved it. And so I decided to do this full time. I just launched with my chief marketing officer and head of product at former chief marketing officer and head of product at Affectiva. We launched a new venture firm, Blue Tulip Ventures. So a blue tulip, and I didn't know that. Tulip's my favorite flower, and blue's my favorite color, and so is Gabby's. Turns out a blue tulip is like a unicorn in the flower world. It's very rare to breed it right. And so we were like, okay, blue tulip, we're going to give this to our portfolio companies. And the investment thesis or our conviction is AI is going to be the opportunity of a lifetime, of our lifetime. And it has the chance to really bring positive change in the world if we do it right.
Yeah.
So we're focused on finding founders that are committed to this, what we're calling human-centric AI. AI that's good for you, good for the planet, and is built with ethics and kind of a responsibility framework in mind. And I know these founders exist. We see a lot of pitches where that's not top of mind.
Yep.
That's not going to be our focus, but there's so many ideas, diverse ideas and founders who are building AI. That's awesome.
Tell us about some of those companies. What does it mean to have these companies that are building with AI that's good for the environment, good for humanity, good for people, good for society, ethical, et cetera?
Yeah, I'm really fascinated with AI at the intersection of health and wellness. So there's a company building an AI co-pilot for your health, and they're tracking a lot. I mean, I'm wearing a whole bunch of sensors, but they're taking all of this information along with your medical data and providing like a ChatGPT interface that can coach you and become a health companion. So I'm excited about that. There's another company, 2 women co-founders, that are looking at family mental health. So they coach parents on how to play with their young toddlers, which is really cool. I'm guilty of that when my kids were younger and still today. I'm like very distracted sometimes when I'm in conversation or in play with my kids. I'm on my phone. I'm not really like listening. And this conversational kind of app will listen to your play sessions, and it will call you out when you're not doing it right.
Yeah. my youngest would probably thank you for that. So those are amazing companies. Let's dive more into the nitty-gritty of that. You're supporting these new founders, these companies. So you really get to see what it's like to be an early developer, an early founder, an early entrepreneur who's trying to figure out how to build in these concepts of, they're trying to launch their companies, get traction, and build in these concepts of responsibility and trust into their software and product development lifecycle. What does that look like? What are some tips, and how do they do that?
Yeah, and I'll draw from my experience at Affectiva. So emotion recognition has so many applications. You could literally think about, applying it, everything. We did autism to advertising research to automotive to surveillance, which we kind of very early on decided we were not going to play in that space. So you kind of need to have like a set of core values that drive your business strategy. For us, it was consent. Like people needed to have an opportunity to consent to being recorded or monitored. So any place or any environment that did not check that box, we would basically just not play. Even, at one time, this was in 2011, we were about to run out of our seed round and we were out raising more capital. It was taking longer than we thought it would. And we got this phone call from the venture arm of an intelligence agency based in the US. I won't mention their 3 letters. And they said, we'll give you $40 million. We were raising 7 at the time, on condition that you pivot the whole company to doing lie detection and surveillance detection. And, I don't believe the technology's there yet. It is so rife with, people could so easily use this information to discriminate against underrepresented human beings. And we turned the money down not knowing if we could raise it elsewhere. So we literally had 2 months of runway before we were going to run out of money. But we decided this was not in line with what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it. Yeah. So we doubled down on finding other investors who shared our core values. But I think it's important to have that North Star. I always say the chief executive officer should also be the chief ethics officer, like CEO's chief ethics officer, because you want the whole team starting from the top to be committed to building ethics into the systems.
When, let's say we have this C-suite level folks also become chief ethics officers, how do you see that kind of coming downstream?
Being productized or
throughout
institutionalized? We did a few things at Affective. First of all, my executive team's annual bonus plan was tied to driving revenue, but also institutionalizing ethics across the whole organization and in our product. So even like our, head of HR, her bonus plan was tied to the whole company, the engineering team implementing ethics into our framework. So I thought that was important because that sent a signal that we are all committed to this. But then at the developer level, we mapped out the machine learning pipeline. We literally said, okay, everything starting from data collection to data labeling to training, validation. At every step of the way, how can we build ethics? How can we mitigate for data and algorithmic bias? And we just, as a startup, or not, actually, you're always under the gun to deliver product and ship new features. But we made sure we created time to implement these knobs along the way.
I love that so much because when you have those knobs along the way, and we've talked about this, where instead of it becoming this really big thing, I have to think about bringing ethics in. You're like, well, do you look at what kind of data you have? You're like, yeah, I do. Well, maybe you should do something there. Exactly. Or what happens when you do inference? Maybe do something there. Or when you do your stand-ups every day, you have these little knobs, as you will, along the way.
When we would train, for example, a drowsiness classifier or a smile classifier, right? And we would, initially, we would just look at the accuracy results on a test data set. But then over time, we were like, wait a second. Who's in the data set? Do we have people of color? Do we have different age ranges? Do we have people who, I don't know, are wearing a baseball cap or have a beard? And over time, the data, we became a lot more intentional and thoughtful about how we're testing and validating these things and what kind of guardrails are we building around it. And again, that's where the developers come in. They can actually put that into practice and do it in a repeatable way.
You actually there was another scenario where we were at this Boston Technology Hub faculty working group. And it was a bunch of faculty members, and Rana and Gavi roll in with their practice. I mean, they've been in practice for so long, but also rooted in research. And basically completely blew everyone away of just what this looks like in practice. And the one example I still think about a lot that's related to your point of different kinds of biases is also the localization component, where different regions just also have different reactions. Right? In the U.S., we often are a bit more emotive than perhaps actually where my parents are from in Vietnam, where you actually don't show as much emotion. Right. And even the responsibility of localization and how you expand that in different ways.
Yeah, we learned that the hard way because we had a big customer in China who sent us an email one day and they were like, this algorithm doesn't work. It's always a flat line. And we were like, let's look into that. And it turned out it wasn't like that people in China weren't smiling, but the intensity of the smile was so different than, say, somebody in Brazil. But we were putting everybody on the same scale.
Yeah.
So we just had to take a step back, create different benchmarks, and localize the models.
Right, and do that. Thank you for sharing that. So how do you also then think about, so you shared about localization, responsibility, et cetera. You also made really big decisions about going into industry, right? Which industries, how do you think about that?
Yeah, that was probably one of the hardest decisions I had to grapple with at Affectiva. Our technology had a lot of, it was like a horizontal platform, right? We could build it as a horizontal platform. We actually had APIs and SDKs on all sorts of platforms we used to call it like emotion enable your whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But then we had this debate whether that was enough or we needed to build like industry-specific end-to-end solutions. So we ended up doing that for a number of markets. There's actually a Harvard business case study written about like which approach was right. We tried both, and honestly, I think the verdict is still out on whether we should have doubled down on the horizontal approach or the vertical.
Yeah.
It was hard.
It's hard. It's still the conversation now of horizontal or vertical with our AI. But you glossed over the fact that it's a Harvard business case, a business school case about you and your company, which is quite incredible.
Because I do think that is a lot of especially actually with AI today, with Gen AI, a lot of Gen AI could be applied across many industries.
Right.
So the question some of these startups have to grapple with is, okay, do you double down on, HR, or do you go, or do you kind of make the technology available to multiple use cases and multiple, and there's this concept of economies of scale, but also economies of scope. Like maybe once you've deployed in a particular industry, it's maybe easy to pivot to adjacent industry. So I think it's a non-trivial decision.
Right.
It's really hard.
It's particularly hard. How do you think about those hard moments? Like, how do you get through roadblocks and hard moments when you're building?
I think it's connecting to the why, like why we're doing all of this. I think I honestly learned this the hard way, like allowing for time, self-care time. Backstage, we were kind of talking about, okay, what's your favorite sport? And I was like, Zumba dancing? Like, does Zumba count as a sport?
Yeah.
But I think doing activities that are physical and outside of, the day-to-day, like sometimes taking a step back is really powerful.
And pulling our head out of the space of development or in front of a screen to let our passive brains work.
Yeah. I didn't do that very well in my early days as a developer / CEO.
Yeah, that's so important. I think one of the best advice I've gotten is to take care of yourself because you get one body. And thank you for sharing that. I want to go back, trying to jump a little bit back, but there was something you said earlier that I really want to pull on a little bit too, was the part of understanding if the technology is even there yet. And that's part of the responsibility conversation, right? Where if you're going to deploy into an industry, especially a high-risk industry, healthcare, for example, sometimes the technology just might not even be there yet. And you have to make these decisions on, are you going to bring the product into that space? Like what industry? How do you think about making those decisions on, is the technology capable? And then how do we deploy it in different places?
Well, and actually also, how do you communicate it to your potential customers in a way that is honest and transparent, right? We ran into that again with like Emotion AI a lot because people had this concept of, oh my God, like now you can track my mood. I'm like, not quite. Like we track emotion reactions to a stimulus. It's not exactly like mood tracking. And I think being honest about where the technology is, what are the shortcomings, that again was one of our core values, actually, the integrity of the science, and that is so important today with AI and all the hype around like what Gen AI can do and it can't do. And I think people are now catching on, like it's not going to take over, right? Like it's quite limited. It's quite powerful, but it still has limitations. And I think transparency around all of that is really key.
That's such a great point around transparency, around the capability of the technologies. What about the other part what about the uses and the misuses of the technology? How do you think about that?
Yeah, that's another important one where intentionality is so key. Like we would map out like all of the potential use cases of like in our case, Emotion AI. But as I look at like some new applications and new startups, I kind of encourage the founders to do the same. Like think proactively about all the different potential applications, and then think about how it could go wrong, and then try to like work your way backward and prevent that. We were involved with an organization called Partnership on AI.
Yeah, PAI.
Yeah, that was started by the tech giants, and the idea was to come together and kind of really think of the unintended consequences before they happen. And I actually think a lot of that work influenced the European AI Act and how they're thinking about that regulation.
Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about that, the role of perhaps technology companies contributing to regulatory practices?
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of like thoughtful regulation. I think we need regulation, but it has to be thoughtful. Like I'm not for like completely stopping the development of any technology, because any technology is really neutral. It's how we decide to use it. But I think it has to be a partnership. It has to be a partnership between the builders and the innovators in the space and these like regulatory bodies, because often they don't understand the technology. And so that's why we, even though we were a small startup, that's why we engaged in a lot of these conversations, because I felt like it was important it's important to be in a room like this, but it was so interesting and different to be in a room with all these regulatory bodies who are like just finding all the like ways it could go sideways.
No, I hear that.
Yeah.
I spent some time in government for a little bit, and it was it's so powerful to have the practitioners in the room. Like, this is how we really do it.
Do it, exactly.
Right. Thanks for showing up for that. Pivoting a little bit more, you inspire so many people, including me. Who inspires you, and who do you follow in this space?
Yeah, I was thinking about this question, especially where I am in this moment in time, where I'm really looking at the AI startup ecosystem. You know, the top 50 AI startups lists that just got published by Forbes a few weeks ago. Only 5% of the CEOs, only 5 of the 50 companies have women CEOs, so that's 10%. And there's just very little diversity, not just of the founders, but the diversity of ideas. And so I'm just doubling down. Like, I believe that who gets the check depends on who writes the check, which is a big reason of why I'm like pivoting to becoming an investor. But to answer your question, Melinda Frenchgate, she has publicly basically committed over $1 billion to invest in emerging fund managers and, underrepresented communities who are building. And, I'm excited to kind of see where that goes. And I really do think we need more women in AI, like across the board, like investors, founders, developers, thought leaders.
I want to pull on that thread too of the different perspectives in the room. And one, not only how do we get the different perspectives in the room to make our products better, but how do we equalize the playing field when we do have the different perspectives in the room so they can all have a voice in the development cycle and what makes it out into the public? How do you think about that?
Yeah, so diversity like fosters innovation, and the more diverse voices and like diverse lived experiences we can have around the table, the better the end product is going to be. So at Affectiva, we had, just as an example, our patenting. We have like over 60 patents issued, and we made patenting a whole team sport. So we would, people on our marketing team are co-inventors on these patents because we just wanted to send the signal that every person's point of view matters. It's not just, the engineers.
Yeah. I think it's incredible that you put names of the different people across your company on the patents because you see them as builders and part of the build process as well. So as we wrap up, what is something, we have lots of different builders of different levels here in the room. What parting thought do you have for builders as we all think about what we want to do next?
Yeah.
How do we contribute our time in this limited time and space that we have.
Yeah, first I would say you are dangerously powerful, so use that power responsibly. And yeah, and just remember that your work is to build, but also to translate what you're building to the rest of the world and kind of articulate why it matters. So that's an important part of the building too.
Amazing. So we're powerful and translate what we build. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was such an honor. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm easy to find if you want to connect too. Thank you. And good luck with the hackathon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please welcome Chief Responsible AI Officer, Kelly Trent.
All right. Hey, everybody. That was a great conversation, wasn't it, between Kathy and Rana? I really enjoyed that. I think one of the points that Rana made early on that I just want to pull on, and she made it there at the end as well, like the power and the responsibility of developers in the AI space is just huge. And so I'm going to continue that theme a little bit as I go through here today. So every organization obviously has a mandate to integrate AI. But as you heard Kathy and Rana talking about, there's also these concerns about the potential for unintended consequences. And so the good news here is that we don't have to choose between innovation and integrity. There are responsible AI frameworks that we can use to bring them both together and bridge that gap. So whether you're building your own AI solutions or leveraging solutions built by trusted partners, Workday is here to support you on your journey with responsible AI. So let's talk about that. I lead the Responsible AI program at Workday. So a lot of the insights that you were hearing Rana and Kathy talk about, I'm responsible for translating them to our own internal development. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that first. Building your own AI solutions. How can responsible AI frameworks assist with that? So it can really serve as a playbook. And I want to talk to you about the principles and the practices that we've established at Workday so you can think about whether they're useful and valuable for you as well. So number one, principles. This is really, I think I heard Rana say North Star, very important, that we're all really on the same page and that we're all working towards the same things when we're building AI solutions. So these are our 4 principles. Number one, when we're building AI technologies, we want to make sure that we're working to amplify human potential. So we know, and you probably know as well, that workers in the future that are able to work well and effectively with AI will have an edge over those who are not. And so we always want to be thinking about that when we're building AI solutions. What can we do to actually help people? Number 2, another thing you heard Rana talk about was, I think she said early on with Affectiva, there was this potential idea to maybe develop AI for surveillance, and they shied away from that. We think about those kind of things as well. When we're building AI technologies at Workday, what are we trying to do, and are we putting things out into the world that can have a positive impact? So we too shy away from surveillance technologies and choose not to build them. And we think more about, again, what can we do to actually help people, put something positive out there? Number 3, champion transparency and fairness. We really do think a lot about how can we be transparent with our customers, with their end users, with our shared communities about what we're building. So we always lean into, if there's a choice between being more or less transparent, let's be more transparent. And then finally, Workday was really built on the idea of the importance of safety and data privacy. And so those commitments for data privacy and protection, those extend to our AI technologies just the same as any other technologies that we build. So these are our principles, but you're probably thinking, great, but where the rubber really meets the road is with practices. And so I want to make sure, I'm going to spend a minute on this one. I want to make sure you get this because I think it's very core to a robust, responsible AI framework. The point here is that not every AI technology is created equally. Some carry a higher risk for users than others. So an approach that we take at Workday right off the bat when we're developing new AI technologies is we think about what is the risk level of this technology. And I want to make sure I say the value of this before I go on describing it, just because this is the most important part. Without a process like this, if we just assumed all AI technologies were the same, then we might potentially waffle and delay innovation for fear that we could do something wrong when we don't need to worry about it as much. Or, we might misunderstand the risks and jeopardize our brand. Both would be very bad. So we want to be as efficient and effective with risk tiering and then guidelines from that. I think you heard Rana talking about the importance of guidelines and guardrails. We have more guidelines and guardrails for the higher risk technologies. So here you have an example of anything Workday would build to help our customers make hiring and promotion decisions. That's an example of something high risk. It doesn't mean bad, and it doesn't mean we won't do it. It means we need to think a little bit harder about the guardrails and the safeguards. On the other end of the spectrum, if we were to build an AI technology to help detect budget anomalies, that's less risky, and so that can move faster through its development lifecycle. So down at the bottom of the screen, you can see the categories of evaluation factors that we've built into this analysis. Number one, let's be honest, we have to make sure we're actually talking about AI. I think if you poll like 5 or 6 different people and ask what's the definition of AI, you might get 5 or 6 different answers. We use the OECD definition if that's valuable for you to know. We also think about what's the potential impact to economic opportunities, which I already mentioned. Hiring and promotions would be higher potential risk. Is this thing targeted towards individuals? Like, will it make predictions and categorizations about individual people or bigger groups? If the latter, less risky. And then finally, is it a sensitive or emerging technology? So for example, something built on generative AI currently would be more sensitive and emerging. Maybe a year from now, it'll be something different. But the point here again is, where do we have to spend more time on guardrails and guidelines? Not everything is the same. So here's an example of how the guardrails and guidelines can show up in the user interface. So this is a technology to generate job descriptions using generative AI. And so we have a whole set of guidelines, and if you're wondering what those look like, you can look to things like the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, if you've heard of that, or the EU AI Act I heard Rana mention up here a minute ago. So a few of those have to do with explainability and interpretability and notice. And so you can see here, we generate job descriptions based on these different data sources. And so we're putting that right there in the user interface for people to see. Where is it coming from? And then the purple sparkly thing has really taken off to indicate where something is generative AI. So this is really just how it shows up. So that was about building responsible AI technologies. And now I want to move on to the second path, leveraging solutions built by trusted partners. So some organizations might find it faster or more cost-effective to start their responsible AI journey by leveraging vetted AI solutions. And at Workday, we know that innovation can come from anywhere, from us, from our customers, from our partners. So we want to make it easy to find responsible AI solutions, leveraging our partner ecosystem. And you heard probably at Rising, we announced Workday AI Marketplace as the one-stop shop to discover a highly curated, trusted set of responsible AI solutions. We really want to amplify human potential in the way I talked about with the principles by making it easier and more meaningful, these AI solutions that we're providing. So you've likely gotten a peek on the showroom floor. There was a really nice interactive display. But today, I just want to share that the Workday AI Marketplace is officially live. Can I get some excitement out there? Thank you. Very exciting. And so today we're launching 17 vetted solutions to help companies manage their people and their money. So this ranges from skills transformation to accounting, to contracts, to fraud detection, to recruiting. Very exciting. And you might be wondering, okay, fine, but is this just another marketplace? You're probably familiar with marketplaces popping up. The value here is really threefold. Number one, this initial set of partners was handpicked to bring curated customer value. Number two, all of the responsible AI framework that I just talked about that we use for our own internal development at Workday, we used across these solutions that you find on the marketplace. So they've all gone through that risk analysis. They've all gone through adhering and aligning to our guidelines based on risk level. And you know, we do all this because we really want to accelerate co-innovation, speed it up, bring valuable solutions to customers that can help solve big problems. So we're really excited to bring it to you today. And if you want to take a look at it, here's where you get a chance to scan the code, where you can go and learn. Maybe you want to know more about those vetted solutions that I mentioned. Maybe you might want to know, how do I become a partner? You can even see a nice video of me giving a very similar talk at that spot. It's difficult for me to watch it. All right, so whether you're using AI Gateway with ML APIs or leveraging AWS via our integration, or you're trying out the Workday Developer Copilot, we want to enable you to help build the future using responsible AI. So to wrap up, we don't need to choose between innovation and integrity. That's a false dichotomy. I will not accept that we have to choose one or the other. At Workday, we know that responsible AI development, it's not only like the right ethical thing to do, it is, but it's also the smart business thing to do. And I'm really so glad to get to talk to you. I'm so glad that this message is resonating more and more out in the ecosystem, because customers expect it. So why wouldn't we develop our technologies this way? So whether you're developing your own AI solutions or leveraging our curated ecosystem of trusted partners, we're here and we're committed to helping you innovate responsibly with AI. So let's shape the future of work together with responsible AI, right? Yeah, excited? All right, thank you.
Please welcome Senior Vice President Global Partners, Matt Brand, and Vice President Product Management, Jay Wizarkowski.
DevCon, 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 we meet again. How's everybody doing? Having a good week? Come on, you can do better than that. Are we having a good time? We're in Vegas, come on. Well, thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Dr. Rana. It's been an amazing DevCon, Matt. We're not done yet. So we have some amazing news to share with all of you, the Workday developer community. But before we do that, Matt, I know you've been at Workday a long time. This is your first DevCon, though. In the social media world, I think we refer to that as long-time lurker, first-time poster, right? So what are your impressions so far?
Well, first of all, thank you for referring to me as a lurker. That's my first lurker reference ever, Jay. So thank you for the invitation to be here. This is my first DevCon, and so I appreciate the invitation. It's wonderful to be here with our customer developers, with our partner developers, and it only took me 4 years to clue in that this was a really cool place to be. And so the highlight is that this is awesome, and it is just so exciting to be here and to see all this energy and momentum about building on the Workday platform. That's the highlight for me for this week. You know, I've been here now for just over 13 years, which seems like a long time, but it's just, I was just talking to Ryan backstage, it goes by incredibly fast. And in that 13 years, Workday has been an application company. And we're making this transformation from an application company to a platform company. And that means a lot of things. I have the opportunity now in this role to talk to our partners every day. And in those conversations, our partners are asking us for more, right? And that means more in terms of the breadth of our relationship, more in terms of the depth of our relationship, more co-investment, right? Our partners want more from us. We want more from our partners. And that's largely because we share the same vision. And that vision is we want to take care of our customers at the end of the day. And that same vision can happen because we believe that we have the best platform on the market. So I think it's announcement time.
Yeah, I think so. We ready? Come on. All right.
I'll just make one observation.
Yeah?
I think it's ironic that I'm like the only person, probably the only person in this room at DevCon who's probably never actually written a line of code. And so I feel fortunate that I get to be the person who actually makes the announcement. So thank you, Jay, for giving me the honor of being the announcer. So without further ado, and if you've read the news this morning, we've already kind of spilled the beans. It's with great pleasure that I announce Built on Workday. Simple, easy. Built on Workday means three very basic things. It means you build, which is what we've been talking about all week. It means we distribute, and it means we sell together. And we do this in ways that we've never done before.
Yes,
thank you.
So it's been amazing to partner with you and your team, Matt, on this. For the Workday developer community, for a lot of us, this is what we've been waiting for. For our partner developers, it means that you can build on the Workday platform using all of the amazing technology that you've had your hands on this week. And we've built the capability for you to build that once and distribute it to hundreds or even thousands of Workday customers and list your applications on the Workday marketplace and sell them to Workday customers. For our customers, what does it mean? It means a huge library of pre-built applications on the Workday platform, extending people and money. It's truly taking the power of all of you, the Workday developer community, and creating a platform economy. We're so excited.
Right on, Jay. You get access to more than 65 million users of Workday, which is a lot. Yes. Thousands of customers globally on one platform that is inside of Workday. You get access to Workday's full go-to-market machine. That means we're going to help you sell what you build. We're giving you, if you're a partner, we're giving you what you've asked for. All this gets listed on Workday Marketplace, which is one place for our customers to find what you've built. And this doesn't apply to just ISVs or software partners. This also applies to service providers, GSIs, SIs, industry providers. We use the term innovation partners because we think innovation comes from a lot of places. Right. So this is a big tent. If you want to build stuff, we want to build with you. Innovation comes from everywhere, so come build with us.
Yeah, it's awesome, Matt. And can you, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
So Matt, it's an awesome announcement, but what's really cool is that we've already been working really closely with some of our early adopter partners. Can you maybe share a little bit more about the progress so far?
Absolutely. We have 8 early adopter partners. They're on the screen behind us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, come on.
We will be, our 8 early adopter partners will be building and selling applications with us this year, delivering applications that our field will help our partners sell this year.
That's awesome. So if I'm interested in learning more about Built on Workday or participating, what do I do?
Well, like I said, we want you to build with us. So pull out your phones, scan this code. We'll leave it up here for a minute. We will be open for business this year. And so please come join us. Built on Workday is going to be open for business, and there will be more partners that will add here throughout the course of the year. And we want the more the merrier. We'll have partner managers who, if you're a partner, talk to your partner managers. We want you to come and build with us.
Yes, we do. And this amazing Workday developer community, we've built it together, and now we're going to build an economy together on the Workday platform. Thank you all so much. Hope you had a great DevCon. Talk to you again soon.
Well said. Thank you.
Please welcome back Ryan Basilio.
A big thank you to all of our speakers today. Thank you all for being with us. But there was a lot that was happening. A lot happened, and I want to give you guys 3 things to take away. The first is that Workday is leading and guiding you in the world of responsible and ethical AI. I love what Dr. Kelly said around innovation and integrity not needing to be mutually exclusive. The second is one you just heard around partnership strategy. It's going to be a big year for you partners, and the ability to distribute at scale is something you've all been looking for, so we can't wait to tell you about it more. The last is about integrations. The integration game will never be the same. Everything we've done with Orchestrate, all those innovations, we're bringing that to the integration cloud. And so, all in all, it's been a great couple of days. I've already told you how much this means to me. You've seen Chris outside. We bring our blood, sweat, and tears to this. But DevCon isn't about us. It's about you. It's so you can get your hands on our technology even before we release it. It's for you so you can get to know the people behind the product and know that trust is at the center of everything that we do. And it's to celebrate you, the developers, the builders. You all make Workday work. So DevCon, it's for you. And so while that does it for our programming today, I did need to make one announcement. If you're attending the hack, we're going to kick you out of here, and we're going to bring you all back in. Come back in about an hour, so hopefully you guys like this room. This is where you're hacking for the next 24 hours. Yeah. Yeah. Get used to it, guys. And if you're like me and the rest of us, and you're already looking forward to next year, hit the QR code. We'll give you some insights into where we're going to have it next year. We don't know yet, so hit that to stay in the loop. I've said this one too many times, but this is just so cool. These lights, everyone here in person. Give me one moment. I got to take it in. It's so good. It's so good. Thank you all for being here. It's a pleasure to be on stage, and we'll see you all next year. Thank you.
Thank you for attending. Please make your way towards the exit as we refresh the room for the hackathon beginning at 3.
Wow, what a great keynote. We just got an exciting look into so much new technology and integrations, including AI.
Yep.
I was right about that one.
You were. You nailed it, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I loved hearing about those announcements with Prism and Extend and how we can bring these technologies together in ways that will ensure you take full advantage of the Workday platform.
Right.
The ability to move from insight to action, it's powerful.
Yes, sir.
And that live demo really highlighted how fluidly data can move. Workday's vision of cohesion and efficiency is really within reach. Let's roll the clip.
So this week, you might have attended some great sessions around Extend and Prism, or maybe you've attended all of them. As we know, Prism is a great platform for taking third-party data, Workday data, and blending that together in ways that create rich analytics and dashboards that drive your decision-making. And then you take Extend, and you can build applications and business processes on top of that data that really take action on top of Workday. Together, this is a powerful toolkit that transforms data into action. On Tuesday, yesterday, you would have heard some sessions from the Workday Package Solutions team about Workday workforce optimization solutions that are available to every one of you in the room, where you can download these solutions as starter kits and get building with Extend and Prism. You may have also heard from Advisor, a partner of Workday, who delivered a cost allocation application that streamlines for internal financial teams' operations. Again, an application built on Workday Extend for driving UI configuration and using Prism as a powerful rules engine to underpin all that.
You know, I really enjoyed that. Orchestrate is also a game changer. The focus there on delivering value and eliminating the complexities of coding is going to make a real impact.
I agree. It's an intuitive interface that's a testament to how we're reimagining the building blocks of digital solutions, making it simpler and just more accessible for business to innovate in the scale.
Absolutely, Chris. I know that DevCon has always been the spotlight for innovation, but it really does feel like we've truly outdone ourselves this year, especially with the introduction of innovation partners.
You know, I couldn't agree more, Amir. If you look at how cool it is to build on Workday, and we just announced this today.
Yes.
We know partners want to do more with Workday, and now Built on Workday will give them just that. They can literally build apps on the Workday platform listed on the Workday marketplace for broad visibility and adoption, and then sell and monetize in a way that, frankly, it was just never possible before.
Right.
So let's take a look at what Matt and Jay shared on stage.
Built on Workday means 3 very basic things. It means you build, which is what we've been talking about all week. It means we distribute, and it means we sell together. And we do this in ways that we've never done before.
Chris, talk about leaning into the full power of Workday's go-to-market engine. And speaking of leaning in, we'd be remiss not to mention that amazing conversation with Dr. Rana El-Kayoubi, where she talked about both the essence and future of AI, as well as the role of emotional intelligence and technology.
You know, that discussion really highlighted how important it is for AI to understand human emotions.
Right.
right? It got me excited about the future of where AI technology truly enriches our life.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. It was absolutely remarkable. That conversation was also the perfect segue to what Kelly Trindle, our Chief Responsible AI Officer, shared next. She highlighted the shift in industry focus from hype to delivering tangible AI solutions. Let's take a look.
So every organization obviously has a mandate to integrate AI. But as you heard Kathy and Rana talking about, there's also these concerns about the potential for unintended consequences. And so the good news here is that we don't have to choose between innovation and integrity. There are responsible AI frameworks that we can use to bring them both together and bridge that gap. So whether you're building your own AI solutions or leveraging solutions built by trusted partners, Workday's here to support you on your journey with responsible AI.
Yes. And an organization's journey towards tangible solutions must not be compromised its integrity, which is where responsible AI comes in, right? Joining us now in the studio to dive into this topic is Kelly herself. Welcome, Kelly.
Thanks. So great to be here.
Kelly, thank you for joining us. You shared Workday's responsible AI governance and the launch of Workday AI Marketplace. I'd love to dive into that a little bit more. Can you share how Workday AI Marketplace fits into Workday's RAI strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as I discussed when I was up on stage, we really, in the responsible AI area, we really care quite a bit about innovation. We want to bring AI technologies to life, to be useful, to solve real business problems.
Yeah.
But we also want to make sure that we're taking into account, concerns around unintended consequences. And so we've built this program for our internal product development, and it's extending to Marketplace to make sure that those solutions that customers can leverage take into account the same framework that we use internally.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's really important because as we try to figure out and how you leverage AI, it's important that not only we do it, but those that work and partner with us do that as well. So I'm wondering, how does Workday help ensure that the solutions in the AI marketplace align to our standards of responsible AI?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So every partner that we include in AI Marketplace, for every individual application, it's not even just by partner, it's by application, we ask a series of questions. And so we're trying to determine what is the risk level of this AI technology. As I mentioned, this is really important, not every AI solution or application is the same when it comes to risk level, right? And so right off the top, we want to be able to identify what is the risk level of this particular application that the partner has built and wants to put on our marketplace. And then if it is a higher risk, like if, for example, it's to be used in recruiting, then we have a greater number of guidelines, guardrails for that use case. And so then we ask the partner to attest. It's an attestation process. We ask them, how do you align to these individual guidelines that are relevant to your use case? So really it's very similar to what we do with our own developers within Workday. Works the same way.
That's fascinating. Can you talk a little bit more about the value of RAI for developers specifically?
Yeah, I think, I'm so excited about AI moving forward. There's so much to gain. This is such a transformative technology.
Yes.
And so one thing I don't want to see is for anyone to waffle and delay development, and I don't want to see anyone just move too fast and not even take into account the risks.
Sure.
There's a really nice in-between point. And so whether you're developing to be included on our marketplace or any other place where we could leverage that kind of innovation, or if you're developing for your own purposes, back to the what's the value for developers.
Right.
We're at a point right now where you can get a little bit ahead of the demand for this kind of responsibility. It's coming, so now's the time to work it into your development process. And so, Workday and other organizations are really kind of leading the way, but these are going to be requirements. And so it's very valuable for developers to, if you haven't already, to tune in to how this works. And don't be intimidated by it.
Sure.
This is all very rational and reasonable,
Right.
and developers can benefit from taking this into account.
It actually makes me feel a lot more secure knowing that we're being thoughtful and methodical in the way that we approach this. And I think that's going to be something that's important not only for us, our customers, but our partner in the entire developer ecosystem. I was wondering, can you provide more details about the collaboration and the innovation opportunities available for partners who develop applications in the AI marketplace?
Yeah, so there's so many great applications out there that utilize AI, and we want to make sure that those are reaching Workday's wide reach of customers. And so when partner developers create applications, by putting them onto the AI marketplace, they're reaching new customers. So I think anybody who develops anything, myself included, is excited for people to actually know about it and leverage it and use it. And so I think that's a really important, benefit of AI Marketplace. I think the other thing, again, not to beat a dead horse on this one, but especially if you're getting used to developing in a responsible and trustworthy way, this is a really great process to run through. So you can understand, even if you're developing outside of Marketplace, these are the kind of things you need to take into account. Again, it's nothing to be intimidated by. Developers can certainly, in fact, developers really have a lot of power in the space. And so understanding what those guardrails are, I think, is another benefit of working with us on the Marketplace.
Yeah. Well, Kelly, I'm going to flip the script for a second. I'm going to ask Chris a question, if that's okay.
Let's put him on the spot.
All right.
How does Workday support developers in integrating their AI solutions into the Workday platform?
Absolutely. So we have a number of ways for you to not only build out applications that leverage AI that we provide, but there's other ways. So I think the one that I'm really excited about is the AWS integration. Okay. So this allows you to do things that we don't necessarily build, but it's coming from a leading company that really does understand the value of AI and how you roll that out and make it effective as well as powerful for the way they use and design it. The other thing I'm really excited about, and especially here we're right before the hackathon, right, is we're going to have this thing called the Workday Developer Copilot. And this is going to do three things. One, it's going to allow the developers to actually ask questions in a real normal language model, right, where you're able to ask a question instead of just doing a search like what you've done on any internet search browser, but really asks the question and it goes through and looks at our documentation and gives you a real answer for it. Sure. Secondly, we allow you to extend from there. And so let's say you ask it about a specific technology, say like model objects or orchestration. It will allow you to actually have this conversation back and forth with the LLM model. And so you can actually get further and more detailed information as it relates to a specific technology, even asking for code snippets. And then talking about code, we also allow you to literally build an app from scratch. You can literally put a question in the query, say, can you build me an app that tells me about my employee database as it relates to locations? Right. And it will build the entire application for you and then show you the code that you can then literally, with a click, port it directly in your application, execute it, run it, and see how it works. Wow. And I think it's these types of innovations that we're building out that makes not only easier for the developers to build something quickly, but actually more effectively. And then, around responsible AI to make sure that you're doing it in a way that makes sense for your business and looking at all those aspects.
Amazing.
Very cool. Very exciting.
Well, as a wrap, I was wondering, Kelly, for you, if you could share what's next for the responsible AI and also how we engage with the partner ecosystem itself.
Yeah. Well, with our initial set of partners, moving them through the responsible AI framework that I was talking about, we actually learned quite a bit. As I say, this is the same framework that we use internally with our own developers. And so we learned, what kinds of questions, what kinds of approaches work most effectively and efficiently with our partners. So we have a little bit of work to do in terms of we really want the process to be easy for developers and partners. And so we have a little bit of work to do around that. And then I think, too, some of the other really important technologies, like the ones that you were just talking about, like Copilot, we want to think about how can we leverage that same framework in a way that makes sense for Copilot. Frankly, one of the challenges we have, and you would have heard me talking about it up on stage, is that everything is pretty use case specific. And so does that make sense for all of these different, formats and places where we can leverage AI? So we have luckily I have a great team of other really smart folks to think through this with me and say, how can we develop this framework so that it can be best utilized across the board? So.
Well, that's fantastic. And it's super exciting to hear about this, what we're doing and building going forward. Well, Kelly, we really appreciate having you joining us here on set and sharing all of your wonderful insights. And we know that you have a busy schedule and you got places and things to go do. So I can't tell you how much we appreciate and thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things about DevCon is the show not tell approach when it comes to the latest technology. Developers are able to get their hands on so many pre-release technology.
And and one of the best places we were able to do that was in the Dev Hub, right? It's where we really showed, it was like the epicenter of innovation here at DevCon. Yes. And the attendees this year were able to do several really cool things, right? Including exploring live demos of the latest technologies in the Workday Zoom. And also, we had building solutions with Prism Analytics as well as Workday Extend. And then finally, gaining insights to upcoming product designs, where you as a developer can literally influence the type of tool you want to use building going forward.
Right.
And that's just naming a few. And let's take a look back at some of these really fun activities that went down in the Dev Hub.
Wow, it's so great to see that attendees can actually build real applications right there in the Dev Hub.
Yeah, and speaking of building real applications, we're just moments away from probably my favorite part of the entire DevCon experience, the Workday DevCon Hackathon.
And it's happening here.
It's here, right? It's like right behind us.
Yeah.
There's going to be people. We have over 53 different teams that are competing this year for some pretty sweet prizes.
Nice.
That it's not only the prizes, but it's the reputation you build as we can build really cool apps.
For sure.
So this is where those developers transform their inspirations into actions. They'll have 24 hours to harness the building in terms of building these applications on the Workday Cloud Platform. And guess what? They get to access new and exciting features.
I hope they also have access to coffee because they're going to be here for 24 hours. Something's got to keep them up.
There will be no shortage of caffeine at this hackathon.
Okay, that is good to know. All right, the clock is ticking and we can't wait to see what they create. Be sure to tune into the Workday LinkedIn page on Friday morning to watch the top 10 demo presentations and Hackathon Awards ceremony.
All right, and now it's time to wrap up for the DevCon live broadcast for this year. Thank you so much for tuning in over the last 2 days.
And a huge thank you to everyone who came together to make this year's DevCon a reality. To our teams from Numobu and JPJ behind the cameras, our workmates in front of the cameras, and more than 2,000 in-person and digital attendees.
Yes, and don't forget to join us for the Hackathon Demo and Awards show tomorrow. We'll see you again next year for another DevCon.